Is it recording? Is it on? Good. Okay, so it is 4, 5 in the morning. I'm barely holding on to being awake, but I was looking through iFunny because there were features that were posted at the butt crack of dark, apparently, that I didn't see until now, and I looked at them, and there were a lot of memes about Donald Trump winning. So I decided to go on Google and see if it was true. What the fuck, America? What the fuck? 270. He won by 270 votes. How? I ask you, how did you let this happen? Looking at the breakdown of what percentages they had, this was ungodly close. Hillary and Trump were winning states by fractions of percentages, which first of all makes me deeply depressed for the state of America that this many people would vote for Trump. But more importantly, Trump won. Donald J. Trump, a 70-year-old anti-Semitic, bigoted, racist, petulant child of a man. He's illiterate, he's a racist, a rapist, and he is going to be the president of one of the most powerful, influential countries on earth for the next 4 years. 4 years! I genuinely am terrified. I am terrified of the next 4 years to come. I am scared for the sanctity of America, for the sake of America, but more importantly, for me. I don't know if I can survive 4 years under a Trump presidency, because although the president does carry a lot of power, he doesn't have a lot of power at the same time. He holds a lot of power in specific areas, but almost none in others, which means his immediate impact legislation-wise on the American public will be minimal, because the president does a lot of diplomatic works and internal works. He can write bills. He's a very, very important person, but he's not the singular leader of a nation. He's one person that represents an entire branch of a 3-branch system, which is only the top tier of government, which must then be funneled down and trickled down through much smaller layers of government, which have a more immediate impact on individuals, which means a Trump presidency would most likely not lead to all the mass hysteria that we're thinking it will lead to, but it will lead to mass hysteria in another way, because what Trump has is influence over the populace, because he is now the president of the United States. So that means just one word from him, and the psyche of America itself, the American public, will react to everything he says and everything he does. So, him promoting bigoted, racist, xenophobic laws and actions and concepts, and those things will reflect across the nation. Think of the presidential chair as the Crystal Empire from My Little Pony, okay? If any of you watch that show. The Crystal Empire kind of acts like a magnifying lens for emotional states. So whatever the emotional state of the Crystal Empire is, those things will reflect across Equestria because they are sent outwardly and affect the psyches of others. That's what the presidential seat does. So, which we can witness whenever Bill Clinton left office and Bush came in, and when Bush left office and Obama came in, there was a massive shift in the American psyche. So we can expect to see that with Trump, but given his views and stances on things, that could be wildly dangerous, which is even assuming that he continues to keep up this charade that he has been playing throughout this presidential election cycle, because this isn't the him that he's been presenting for most of his life as a public figure. The him that he's been presenting for most of his life as a public figure is a Republican and somewhat moderate. Yes, as a businessman, he's a complete... But on his political stances, he's always stayed fairly moderate, fairly democratic, liberal. Not that bad. Someone that both sides could easily get on board for, but also easily get off board for, because he's also a... But in order to cater to the vote of the Republican Party, he's put on this facade, which is basically a Flanderized version of the church lady from SNL. So, yeah. But if she had a lobotomy as well, because he's Trump supporters, even you have to admit, he's not the brightest bulb. Okay? Whatever you think of him politically, you have to admit, he's not the brightest bulb. But anyways, my point is, what I'm scared of is the fact that he will sway the thought processes and the way government is run for the next 4 years. When Obama came into office, on his particular tier of government, he wasn't able to get a lot of things done. But on the lower tiers of government, on the more local levels, his words and actions and philosophies and whatnot held a lot of sway. So, as a whole, the nation became more liberal and democratic. It swung more to the left, which is, I think, the Democrats' side. Anyways. So, we can expect to see something like that with Trump, which really scares me, because not only am I a mixed-race individual that is half Mexican, but also I'm a part of the LGBTQ+ community. I will go deeper into that at another time. I'm not... That's for another day. Anyways, another thing that is very terrifying to think about is the fact that with an executive order, Trump can launch America's nuclear missiles. Yeah. Through an executive order, which means he doesn't have to go through the other branches of government. He doesn't have to have the say-so of other people. He alone can launch the nuclear warheads that America has. Which, by the way, is enough to basically bring about the apocalyptic event from Adventure Time that blew a giant Swiss cheese hole through the earth. I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared. Because on top of all of that, which makes me feel like I can't live in this country, I don't have the ability to move to another one. I don't have money. I don't have means of going places. I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. I'm deeply terrified. Deeply terrified. Like, I saw it, and I felt my stomach drop to my asshole. Like, I can't... America, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Hillary Clinton better call for a recount and have a repeat of what happened with President Bush's electoral race against what's-his-face guy who invented internet, where we thought the one won, but then they recounted and the other one won. that better happen because I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't!
Truly, you didn't think this through? Kinda stupid.
Anyways, I've been talking for 11 straight minutes about this. I'm tired. And I've said my piece. I just can't. I can't. I can't.